believe that today is the beginning of a historic moment to create a renter power movement across the nation, where we finally will change the housing is not a commodity, but a human right that should be provided to all of our citizens across the nation, because it is the first way that somebody can pursue happiness, which should be the most essential human right that we have. Thanks for coming to the Chicago Renters Day of Action. My name is Antonio Gutierrez, and I am a renter. Today, September 22nd, 2016, is the first National Renters Day of Action for dignity and respect. We are here today to declare a renter state of emergency, to take the streets to demand an end to rising rents, eviction, and gentrification. Now more than ever, housing is unaffordable for millions of people. Rents nationwide are rising while wages are stagnant. Evictions are at epidemic levels, and our communities cannot wait for affordable housing any longer. Working class and low-income people, communities of color, immigrants, and formerly incarcerated folks are the target of this crisis. As housing becomes even more unattainable and our cultures and communities are displaced, developers and landlords continue to put profits before human needs. But together we can unite to fight for renters' rights, defend our homes, and win community control over land and housing in our cities. Together with the National Housing Coalition, Homes for All, and the Right to the City Alliance, there are over 45 actions happening today across the nation with the same demands. Here in Chicago, over 10 different housing organizations have been planning and putting together today's event to highlight the stories of those that are at threat of eviction and displacement. Organizations such as the Autonomous Tenants Union, the Lawyers Committee for Better Housing, the Metropolitan Tenants Organization, Communities United, Somos Logan Square, One North Side, the Chicago Housing Initiative, Jane Addams Senior Caucus, the Chicago Socialist Party, Dawson Alliance, Northwest Side Housing Center, All Chicago, Community Activism Law Alliance, and 5 for 15. We stand together today to say enough is enough. We demand with the rest of the nation a solution to a natural housing crisis.
My name is Lily and I'm a renter. We're here today in the Daley Plaza because it represents many things for renters in Chicago. The Daley Center for many is a place of fear, intimidation, and uncertainty. Right here in this building is where more than 30,000 evictions happen every year in Chicago. 30,000! What does 30,000 look like? That ain't right!
Here in Chicago, we're demanding 3 local demands that we're focusing this event on. We are demanding the implementation of the Chicago Healthy Homes Inspection Program, or CHIP, which will require annual building inspections. This will improve the quality of the housing stock, reduce illness caused by disrepair, such as asthma in children, and give dignified housing to all Chicago renters. Do we want CHIP? We are demanding the enactment of just cause for eviction. Under just cause, landlords will need a legitimate reason to evict, making it harder for greedy developers to displace our communities. It is time to promote neighborhood and family stability. Do we want just cause?
Just cause!
And finally, the implementation of Keeping the Promise ordinance, which will impose reporting requirements on the Chicago Housing Authority. mandate more housing brochures to be circulated to low-income individuals. Going forward, replace of all public units that are vacated at 1-for-1 ratio. And to stop the trade of public land for private profit. We, the people, deserve greater transparency and democratic control over public land and public funds.
Hola, buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Lucy Esquivel. Soy inquilina.
My name is Lucy Esquivel and I am a tenant. I have lived in Albany Park for 19 years. The building where I lived for 4 years was foreclosed on by a bank in 2012. After this, my family and I had to take care of basic maintenance tasks such as mowing the lawn, fixing our house, and we're also made to take on paying some of the building's bills. Whoa! That's not right, right? That's not right. Despite everything that we did to try to stay, the bank still sought to evict my family. We did everything possible to buy or at least keep renting in this building, but the bank did not pay any mind to our efforts. After our eviction, it was very hard to find a place that was accessible and affordable for us, given that rents are skyrocketing. Everything we went through was very stressful for my family and I. It is not fair that this happened to us and that there's many families out there going through the same. A clear example of this being my own sister, who is currently dealing with a landlord that wants to evict her. What my family and many others have been subjected to is not fair. And for this and for many reasons, we need just cause in Chicago because housing is a human right.
Good afternoon. Hi. My name is Linda Diaz and I'm a renter. Also a member of Jane Addams Senior Caucus. I am one of hundreds of thousands of people who applied for a voucher with the Chicago Housing Authority and one of thousands on the wait list. Years ago, I lost my family home in Humboldt Park because I couldn't afford the property taxes during the recession. The house was paid for, the mortgage was done. I was living on a fixed income of $720 from Supplemental Security or SSI. And after my mom died, the property taxes went up from $90 a year to $2,000.
That ain't right.
That ain't right. And I couldn't afford these payments. So I squatted in my home during 2 terrible winters without gas or electricity until I found a bed at Lincoln Park Community Shelter.
Wow. Ain't right.
I lived in this shelter almost 3 years while waiting on the wait list for the CHA voucher and other affordable housing options. It was only after waiting 3 years that someone told me to apply outside of Chicago. Once I applied outside of the city, it only took me 3 months to find affordable housing in Evanston. While I'm grateful to have affordable housing, my stepping stone, I have lived in Chicago my whole life. And I wanted to be able to live in a familiar environment in Chicago near my job and near downtown, also in an affordable apartment. Because CHA is hoarding hundreds of thousands of millions of dollars and not releasing vouchers, it is why I waited 3 years. And I probably could have waited longer. But many people from the shelter that I know are still waiting. Mayor Emanuel, this is a serious issue. People's lives are at stake.
Yes.
This ordinance has been collecting cobwebs and has been in Alderman Moore's Housing Committee for 14 months. Stop playing with our lives. You could do something so that people who are homeless don't have to wait forever to find affordable housing in Chicago. Mayor, we need your support. The Keeping the Promise ordinance and call it to a vote.
My name is Monica Watson and I am a renter. I was a resident of 1645 West 17th Street in Pilsen. It was one of many properties brought out by Barnett Capital. Before all this happened, I was naive. I thought that even though the neighborhood around me was changing due to gentrification, me and my roommate would be safe, but we're here now because we know the truth. Our experiences are similar. Barnett Capital bought out the building, in effect abandoning their tenants before throwing them out on the street with little to no regard to their well-being, made evident by their refusal to address building issues such as mold and infestations. Since this is the first time I lived on my own, after living with my parents, I was left confused and pissed by how easily and legal it seemed for residents in the community to be tossed aside in the name of money and gentrification. That ain't right. That ain't right. It's not just my neighborhood that Barnett Capital and others like them are after. So far, BCL is responsible for the removal of a number of families from their long-held homes. And until they're held accountable for their actions, this new age colonization will continue to happen. It ain't right. Barnett Capital isn't just contributing to gentrifiers. They are the gentrifiers.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
Aiding the systemic removal of black and brown low-income residents in order to colonize and effectively destroy the vibrant cultural neighborhoods that we created.
Yeah.
It ain't right. Affordable housing is becoming obsolete, and a lot of people, including myself, now have to live in a space they can barely afford. Over half my income goes to my rent, and in some instances, I've had to put the need for a roof over my head over other necessities like food.
That ain't right.
That ain't right. Even though my building was unable to fight back against Barnett Capital, I refuse to stand idly by for a second while they continue to destroy the lives of my friends and families. I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. And neither are the organizations formed against them that are here today. I believe housing is a human right.
Up with the renters! Down with developers! Up with the wages! Down with the rent! They say eviction!
We say resistance!
Good evening, y'all. My name is Talandra McMullen, and I'm the parent of Mikhail McMullen, and I am a renter. And today I stand before you to talk about Chicago Healthy Homes Inspections Program, acronym CHIP. Go CHIP! With my full support, I ask that you join me, Chicago, to support CHIP for improving Chicago housing crisis. My son, Mikhail McMullen Perry, who is now 6, first grade, whose body, mind, and health was poisoned by lead.
That ain't right.
It ain't right. He was robbed and sacrificed due to unsafe and unhealthy homes here in Chicago, along with being on the autism spectrum. I'm standing here to fight for change, for renters' rights, the children, and my son Mikhail, and for regular inspections by the city of Chicago of all units, no exceptions. No exceptions. Tenant protection for retaliation. Those evictions on your name. Protection from health issues caused by bad unit conditions. Burden of tenants, off tenants for complaining. I would like it to be mandated with the selling of property, dwellings, houses, homes, buildings, that is required that attachments be given of acknowledgement of its hazards. Make the safety and health of every child, please, a priority. Unlike my son, he didn't get a chance to experience this. He didn't get a chance to experience CHIP. If CHIP was implemented already, Mikhail wouldn't have disabilities. That's irreversible. You hear me? The irreversible lead poison effects.
That ain't right.
Implementing and going forward with CHIP, it has its benefits. It improves property value. It preserves housing, reduces school absences. It cut down on emergency medical attention and costs from unhealthy homes. And the one that's hit home with me is it prevents lead poisoning. About 80% of the housing of the city of Chicago is built before 1978. If you want Chicago to be safe, your child, your grandchildren, to be safe, homes must be required to be inspected and maintained beyond cosmetic repairs. I believe housing is a human right.
All right.
See, I gotta raise Mikhail with disabilities for the rest of his life. For the rest of his life. He's in first grade now. I want CHIP to be implemented. I like legislation to pass and get on board with CHIP. Go CHIP!